Hey guys, welcome to my video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to place trailing stop orders with Interactive Brokers API in Python using IB-Insync. It's going to be my first video trying this filter, so let me know how it is with me not having a background. Of course, like other videos, if you enjoyed, if it was helpful, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. I did want to start by saying it was really sad news to hear that the author of the IB-Insync library, Ewald De Wit, unfortunately passed away, and his siblings wrote this message. It's really sad. This guy literally wrote the best library in the world. There are a lot of people that are gonna continue this library moving forward, but it's really sad. Especially, he seemed like a young guy, an extremely nice guy. Very sad for all his family, and condolences to all his family, because this library is like the best library in the world, and just condolences to his family. It was kind of shocking. So yeah, so it was sad, very sad about that. My condolences again. Okay, so on that sad note, let's maybe get started. So we want to talk about how to place trailing stop orders, right? So what is a trailing stop order? So let's give you the case where you bought the stock, you're in a trade, and you now want to sell your stock. Let's say the stock went in the right direction, like the price went up. You want to lock in some of those gains. So you want the stop loss to follow you. So that's what the trailing stop does. So let's say assume I have a trailing stop, I say like $1 below, and I buy Tesla at 180. And then I submit that trailing stop order at 180. So if Tesla goes to 195, my stop now goes down to at 194. It always follows it up and goes $1 less. And you can also specify it as a percent. Okay, so let me show you how to do this with Interactive Brokers with IB-Insync. So let's first connect to IB. So let's connect to IB. Okay, so let's define the contract we want to go with. So let's, like other videos of mine, let's define Tesla. So we define it like as stock equals stock, symbol, exchange, currency. Qualified contracts gives you like additional information like the con ID, like the unique stuff. But in this case, you don't need it. I'm just going to request market data just because it'll help us get intuition of what's going on when we place orders and that sort of thing. So how do we request market data? Of course, we do this ib.rec market data. We give it a contract. The generic tick list is what we want to see. I just did the default. Snapshot equals false. That means like it'll constantly update. Regulatory snapshot, like you get the national best bid ask bid offer thing, but we don't need that. Because it costs money. So okay, so we define this ticker to get the market data. We also are going to define a callback. So all this callback is going to do is I'm going to use it later on, but basically it's going to kind of track the maximum stock price. So this will kind of help us with the information. When we have a stop sell order, we track the maximum stock price because we know that our stop will be like an offset from that maximum. So if the maximum gets to like 350 and our offset is $1, then 349 would be the price. Oh, and I did want to make very, very clear that I have never used this in real life. And please, this is not financial advice. Please check it a million times. I did not use this in real life. So please check it a million times before you use it. Thank you. Okay, so like what this callback basically will do is, you'll see later on, is I'm going to always define the max stock price to be 0 and a new order whenever there's a new order. And all it's going to do is like whenever there's like a ticker.last, which is the last trade price, whenever it's bigger than the current max price, we set the max price to that price. And all that's going to do is just keep track of the max price. This is just to help us understand things. So let's run this, and to call back to the ticker, we do ticker.update event plus equals on on ticker update, and I guess my okay, so just to show you guys, like, okay, so ticker that last, for example, this is the last traded price for Tesla. Okay, so let's now talk about defining a trailing stop order. I'm guessing that this is usually like in the context of a bracket order, but we're not going to do the bracket order. We're just going to say, assume we already made the trade, we bought the stock, and now we want to sell the stock. So we can have the stop order for selling the stock. So first, let's go to the documentation for TWS API. The IB-Insync documentation is very similar. I mean, it just gives you like the basic things. So you see like there's a trailing stop. So you should read this to get more information. So you have like action, order type, trail. The key is order type here is trail. Action is like in all the other actions in other videos. And total quantity is quantity. Trailing percent is the trailing percent. And trailing stop price is okay, sorry. I lost my train of thought. Okay. So the key thing is, the really important thing is you have a trailing, either two things. You can have either trailing percent or aux price. So I wrote it here. You can either have trailing percent or aux price. Aux price is if we want to do like an actual number. So let's say like you place the you want to like the trailing to be like $2 less than the price, the price it goes up to. So that would be when you'd use aux price. You'd use trailing percent if you say like, okay, as long as it goes up, I move my stop to like a certain percent below the price it got to. So that would be the trailing percent. So use either one of these two. The other small thing I wanted to say is, regardless of anything, there's a thing called trail stop price. And this would be like an absolute price to use. And I'll show you guys an example later. So actually, maybe I'll just show you guys right now an example. So what is Tesla right now? Tesla's at 171.59, right? So if I were to do this order, I would do order equals order. Order type equals trail. Action is sell. It's going to be a sell stop. Aux price equals, let's just do 5.5. So this is like far away. But I'll put a trail stop price at, let's just put it at like 171.6. Just to show you guys, because this is like the regular stop. As if like, forget the trailing stop, this acts like a regular stop. I'll put it at 171.55. So then I place this order, and then I do trade that order status. I look at the order status, it's pre-submitted. It's still pre-submitted because it's above 171.55. And once it falls to 171.55, you'll see that it's that it'll be filled, because this is like the stop price regardless, and this is for sell. For buy, it'll be the opposite direction. It's like when the price goes high, you buy. Okay, so so you know what? Forget this. Let's cancel orders for O in IB dot open orders. Let's do IB dot cancel order O. Okay, so I canceled this order. So let's do again. Let's do one that'll actually hit. Let's do 171.7. Okay, so now the order status is pre-submitted, and if it goes below, oh, now it should be filled because it went below 171.7. See, filled. Okay, so that's just saying that this is the regular stop. So now let's actually go to the actual trailing stop. Okay, so let's actually define a callback to help us understand what's going on. So we can define a callback. I'll call it on fill event. So like what's going to happen is I'm going to attach this callback to the trade, the order I've just placed. And when it gets filled, it's going to print the execution price, which is like the price where this got filled, the max stock price, and the initial stock price, just to give us an intuition. So we're going to then create this function to create a trade So look at this function here. It's going to just, oops, sorry. This function is going to just be the regular IB.placeOrder, except I'm now having I'm adding the callback. I'm attaching the callback right away. So .fill event plus equals onFilled event. And I have another video about this stuff. I guess I should refer you guys to like my IB-Insync now playlist. Has a lot of these videos, but okay. So now let's show an example on how this is used. So like, let's say we have the order, and let's say our trailing stop will be 0.2, like a 0.2. So like we can place the order. We can do like order, order type trail, action sell, total quantity is 100, aux price equals 0.2. So this will be trail and 0.2 below like the max price it got to. And if you don't specify this trail stop price, then like you just don't have it. So this is just a trailing stop price. Okay, so now I'm gonna do this place order with callback, and then I'm gonna set this new order flag to true and the initial stock price to I mean, you don't really need this. The new order flag, it just helps me with the first callback to keep track of the maximum price, just kind of to help us out. So like, okay, so here what happened is I placed the order. My trailing stop is 0.2. Wow, Tesla just jumped. And when it gets filled, it's going to print the maximum stock price and the execution price. So we should expect the execution price to be roughly 0.2 less than the maximum stock price because we trailed it up to 0.2 below. So this is like, maybe I'll say this like absolute trailing stop amount. And one second, this, what do they call it specifically? They call it like, trail amount or trail percentage. Okay, so I guess Tesla actually went up. So it should, okay, great. Well, I made a typo, but this is what I wanted to say is like, the price got up to 172.71, and then 0.2 below. If it got below 0.2, it executes a market order. That, by the way, the reason this is a difference of 25 here is because, of course, stop orders are market orders. There's also, by the way, a trailing stop limit where if you want like a limit also, like because if the stock were to dropped like $20, it right away will execute because a stop order is actually a market order once the price gets filled. So I guess I made a typo. Initial stock price. Okay, so anyways, forget this typo for a second. Okay, so this is the example with an absolute amount. If you want an example with a percent amount, okay, so let's just see for a second what's the price. It's about 172.13. So let's do a percent amount to like, let's do 0.1%, okay? So now it's similar to here, except the order will now, instead of using aux price, we're going to use trail link percent, and let's do point. You know what? Let me just make sure for a second that sometimes these things are a little bit tricky, like with absolute numbers. I think this would be a 0.1% change. But let me double check, because if it's this would be a 0.01% change. But let me double check, because if it's not a 0.01% change, it'll be a 1% change. So like if it's a 0.01% change, it'll fill right away. If it's a 1% change, it'll take some time. So let's just see if that worked. Let's just make sure. So I do like this. So let's see if this would be a 0.01% or a 1%. So last is this. So I think this is a 0.01% change. So yeah, exactly what I thought. Yeah, so this is a 0.01% change. So when we want like a 0.1% change, it'll go like we do this thing. So I spelled initial wrong. That's why. Okay. So now this is a 0.1% change. So let me write in this example like a 0.1% change, not a 0.01 change. And here I'll write a amount of 20 cents. Okay, so this is like a 0.1% change. So let's say like Tesla's like here, 171.84. Let's see, this should fill, but not right away. 171.97 is the current market price, but it's 0.1%. So 1% is about $1.70. So 0.1% is about 17 cents. Okay, so it's about 17 cents. So this is the actual percent. Again, I have never used this in my real trading. So please double check and do not use it right away. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so now I wanted to say one thing. So now that we've talked about trailing stops, let's talk about so like you probably would want it as part of a bracket order, meaning let's say you buy the stock and then you have a limit, which is your take profit, and then you have your stop loss, which is your like instead of a stop loss, you'll have a stop limit, or sorry, you'll have a trailing stop. So like it could be. So I just wanted to say is like what I recommend is like if you use like a ID like pie chart, you can do from IB-Insync import star IB equals IB. And then you can look, there's a function called IB.bracket order, do jump to declaration or control B in pie chart, and you see its function. It gives you like a parent, a take profit, and a stop loss. So this is the bracket order. And then you actually loop through this order one by one and you like submit the parent, the take profit, and the stop loss. So just to show you guys like for a second. So I have... okay, let me just write this. So, oops, where would we go? Okay, so like, okay, so you can define like a custom bracket order to fit your needs. I am not going to do this in this video, but we can do it eventually. I have a video here about this bracket order. So if I do like control this, I can get to it. I have a thing. I don't get why I have commercials. They don't monetize music. Yeah, so it's like a double whammy. Anyways, so yeah, this is like talking about bracket orders and parent orders and that sort of thing. But I think I don't want to get into details because I just don't have time. But like the moral of the story is like you have a parent order. Let's say you're buying the stock. And then that has two child orders: the take profit and the stop loss. But here we would want to change the stop loss with the trailing stop loss, right? So we'd have to change this with the trailing stop loss. And then once we have this bracket order, we would loop over like the elements in the bracket order. So and we would place the order individually. Please see this video for more details. But like I don't want to get to too much details. Just to remind you guys, like the parent order has a transmit equals false. The first child order points to the parent order. It says parent ID equals parent.order ID, as you see, and the second child order has parent.order ID. But note that the parent order and the first child order have transmit equals false. And then only the last child order has transmit equals true. What this does is it basically kind of says like, okay, let's wait until we got all the instructions before we transmit. It's saying don't just like transmit these before you get this information. So more info is in this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. My condolences to Ewald De Wit's family. Really sad. He made the best library. All the best. See you guys in the next video. Maybe just one more small thing is I was able to make a playlist of IB-Insync things. It's not organized. I probably should just maybe I should like delete everything and start from scratch, making like nice things. But I have this like IB-Insync playlist, and if you guys want to learn about IB-Insync, you can try that. Hope this was helpful. Thank you so much. Have a great day.